So you might have seen my video with the EzFlash versus the EverDrive. Well, it wasn't really versus the EverDrive, but I bought the EzFlash instead of the EverDrive just due to huge price comparison reasons. And one of the things I liked about it was in my Game Boy Advance, which was my video right after that, where I did the IPS screen upgrade, it was a flush fit where the EverDrive would stick above it a bit, and I didn't want that. I wanted everything flush, along with like the lithium batteries I used inside and items like that. So you'll notice that in my DS, now in the DS, this is the DS Lite. In the original DS, normal Game Boy Advance cartridge would also be flush, but in a DS it would stick above. But you'll notice in here, I have it actually in here, and it is flush. And the reason I'm doing this video actually about the EzFlash again is someone posted a comment about the battery, and I actually was curious about it, so I wanted to take it apart and look at it and see about the battery. And while I was at it, I figured I would use the adapter. If you noticed in the video, if you watched it, or if you didn't, I'm about to probably talk about it here in a bit. You'll see. Well, I will be. You'll see it. The adapter that comes with it actually makes it flush even for the DS. So where normally you would have a full-size case, they also sell you the adapter for this, and this is actually just the piece that came with it. Here is the blank, and you'll see that it's all really, really comparable in size and everything, which is awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unscrew this and actually put it back to this blank here. And while doing that, show you what the inside looks like, show you what the battery looks like. It'll also show you basically how to swap these out, because I did buy this for my Game Boy Advanced, and maybe down the road, if they come out with like an X7 for the EverDrive and I do happen to get it, or maybe I get another one of these just because it's more cost efficient, then one of them I'll permanently make this and put it into the DS Lite, just because the DS Lite actually has a great screen and everything. But now that I did the IPS upgrade screen, yeah, that's a pretty good screen, and I really like the layout of the Game Boy Advance. It's one of my favorite layouts. But yeah, let's take this apart and see what it looks like. Okay, so I grabbed a few things here as reference. We have a Game Boy Advance. There we go. Game Boy Advance cartridge, and then here is the blank that fits in here, and you'll see that that'll be flush in the Game Boy Advance. And then when you have a game in here, it sticks out when it's in the DS, and that's why they sell you the adapter. I call it the blank adapter, but I never really actually figured out what this was for, because if you look inside there, let's see if we can get a look in there at all, you'll see there's actually like some teeth in there. I always kind of wondered if that meant anything, but I did never take it apart, and yeah, I probably never will. I shouldn't say that. I take everything apart eventually. But yeah, so needless to say, we are going to reverse this so you can see what everything looks like. So I got a Phillips head screwdriver here. Oh, first, take your memory stick out. If I can get it out of there. It's a little clumsy to get in there, but once you have it in there, you don't take it back out generally. There we go. And then once we have that apart, it doesn't take much to get that out. Just set that to the side. And you just got to fidget with this a little bit, because it does kind of click together. If I can fidget enough. There we go. Alright, so I'm just going to set this piece to the side, because I am not going to be using that for right now. I do want to hang on to this part here. This part here is what is going to go onto here. I don't want to click it together yet because I got to put the piece in there, but that's what's going to go into here. So you'll see. Let's see if I can get a little closer. All right, there we go. So there you can see the battery. I don't want to damage it, but I will lift it up a bit. There we go. you go. So it's got a pad, so it's not really touching any of the circuits down there. Another look right there. So yeah, here's that pad. And if you look closely, see if we get that, keep it in, I'll try to keep this all in focus. Oh, there we go. So yeah, there you can see where the two solder points are. So if something happened to this battery, you'd almost have to, I'm trying to think. I mean, I wouldn't, it'd be a real pain to like, try to get that back in focus. You know, it'd be a real pain to try to, you know, get that, you can see it's tack welded on there, right there and there. And if you have to be one of those people who made one of those things where it just tack welds on, more power to you. I think I would want to, maybe if I had changed the battery out at that time, probably solder down a new piece. Something that maybe is more replaceable. As for longevity of this battery, you know, I don't know. But yeah, there is soldering involved. So, that said, let's get this thing back together. And it's pretty easy to line up. You'll see there's the screw hole right there. And then on here, I got the screw hole there, so I basically just got to flip it over. You can actually see they have a spot for the battery right there too, that round area. So it holds the battery in place, which really makes me think something better could have been done for that. But you know what? For the price compared to an EverDrive, I really can't complain too much. I'm pretty happy with the whole thing. Everything's lined up good. Let's back out a bit. Actually, I did this backwards. You want to actually put it in the small part first, and then once you got it in there, kind of hold it. It will fall back out. Yeah, so that looks good. There we go. Everything snapped back together. Kind of hold it. It's still loose until that screws in. And that screw does serve a purpose. There we go. And then lightly, don't over tighten the screw. A lot of times it's actually not the worst thing to actually turn the item itself until it stops. There we go. Everything looks good. Put the SD card back in. There we go. Look at that beautiful screen. If you haven't watched this video on doing the IPS, go back and watch it. You might be like, I've seen it before. So many people have done it. And you wouldn't be incorrect. A lot of people have done it, but I make mistakes and I point them out. Like where that white dot came from and stuff like that. So yeah, it always nice to see what idiots like me have done so that you don't do the same. And everything looks good here. God, that's a beautiful screen. Have I mentioned that? Hey, if you're looking to buy something on Amazon, hit one of the links in the description below. Even if you don't get the item that's in the link below, it helps us out and costs you nothing extra. In fact, if it's a sale item, it's a sale item through our link even. So we would greatly appreciate it. Otherwise, thanks.